Hi, everyone. So we've been talking about addition and subtraction. And so today we're going to review all of the different strategies or a few of the different strategies that we've gone over that you can use to solve addition and subtraction stories, or sometimes we call them word problems. Okay. So just as a reminder, when we are adding, we're putting things together or we're joining things. And you're going to use this symbol, which is the plus symbol. And when we are subtracting, we are taking something apart or taking something away, and we are using this symbol, the minus symbol, okay? So just as an example, I'm going to use these two number sentences as examples today to go over these strategies. So I'm going to use the addition sentence, 7 plus 3 equals, and then the subtraction sentence, 10 minus 3 equals, okay? So our first strategy we're going to talk about is acting it out. And what that means is you're just using something hands-on. So for example, we in class might use counting cubes. We have counting bears. We have red and yellow counters, just something that you can physically touch to act out the problem. That is super helpful anytime you're acting out one of these problems, just to have something that you can physically touch. So again, at your house, if you don't have counting cubes, it's okay. You can use anything. You can use crayons, markers, anything small, buttons, really anything in your house that you can use, just so you can physically touch to see what the problem looks like. Okay. So our second strategy is draw a picture. And I have drawn here an example of both of these number sentences. So in this one, for 7 plus 3, I have 7 red flowers, and then I added 3 blue flowers, and that gives me 10 flowers total. Okay, so remember, when you're adding or you're doing an addition story, you're putting things together. Now we're doing the opposite when we have a subtraction sentence. So if I had 10 minus 3, I would start out with my 10 flowers. So I have some red and some blue, 10 total. If I take away those 3, then I have 7 left. So remember, when you are subtracting, you're taking something away. So when you're drawing a picture, you can cross them out or just move them over to the side. You want to take those away so you remember that you are subtracting, and those are the ones that are going away. Okay, the next thing you can use is a 10 frame. So in math, we do a lot of things by tens, and a 10 frame is a really great visual way to see 10 and see the different number combinations to make 10. If we were doing this in class, we would have an actual physical 10 frame we could touch, and we would have red and yellow counters. Again, it's okay if you don't have that at home. The best thing to do would just be to draw it out. Okay, so in this example, I have 7 red counters plus 3 yellow ones, and that would give me 10 total. And this is a good visual for kindergartners, because if they can look at the 10 frame and see that it's full, they know that this is automatically a 10, and that is building up their number sense. So, and then the opposite of that, when we are subtracting, if I had 10 total and I said take 3 away, you could look and see that there are 7 left. And again, just being able to look at the 10 frame and see visually the different combinations that you can use to make 10. This is one of our math foundations. So this is super helpful if you can practice this at home. And then the final strategy I'm going to talk about today, we haven't talked about too much, but it is important. And it can be really helpful too. So let's talk about that. It's called using a number path, and sometimes we call them a number line. Today we're going to call this a number path, because just what it looks like a little path, like little stepping stones that you might step on. Okay. So when we're using a number path, you want to remember that if we are adding, we are going up or to the right on the number path, and things are getting bigger. If we are subtracting, we're going to go to the left, or we're going to go backwards on the number line, because we're taking away and things are getting smaller. So for example, if we're doing 7 plus 3, we would start here on the 7, and I want to jump 3 steps. 1, 2, 3, and this is where I would land on number 10, okay? But if we are going backwards or we are subtracting, I would start with 10, and then I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to go backwards 3. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and I ended up on 7. So in this one, I took away 3. Okay. Again, this is another great visual example of how to solve this. When you start working on longer or addition and subtraction sentences with higher numbers, you can build onto your number line and make it longer. Okay. All right. So those are just a few of the different strategies you could use to act out addition and subtraction stories. Again, these are not the only ones, but they're some of the main ones that we might use in kindergarten. So I hope you guys find these helpful as you are solving some stories this week.